All right, ladies and gentlemen, six-man tag team action. You see in there Kevin Sullivan, Ron Garvin, Al Perez. Watch him.
David, and I mean Sullivan going right after Armstrong, Hunter, and Joe Cruz. But right now, standing by, let's hear this, first of all, from the Fantastics.
You know, Midnight Express and Jim Cornette, there's an old saying, don't let this hand know what this hand's going to do. But we're letting you know, brother, that we're making a challenge to regain our United States Tag Team belts.
That's right. You know, the Midnight Express have a saying. It goes like this. What goes around comes around. Midnight Express don't count the Fantastics out because they're very much alive in the NWA.
All right, how about the Fantastics? That's right.
Ron Garvin is as tough as they come, the man with the hands of stone.
And also, I want it noted, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion and one of the finest we ever had. True?
All right.
And a man that will do anything for money.
Exactly like yourself, Mr. David Crockett.
Well, I don't know if he goes for to sucker punch somebody. You know, Ron Garvin, a great athlete, so is Al Perez. There's one thing about Tim Horner and Brad Armstrong, two young competitors. They are not intimidated at all by Al Perez.
Okay.
And this would be a good match for Joe Cruz to learn something from his teammates. I can tell you that. And learn something from the blows he gets also.
Kevin Sullivan said that you, Tony Schiavone, have a jaded past, and that's why you don't go back to the East Coast.
You know, that one thing I've always said about Gary Hart, and that is you don't know what he's going to come up with next.
I agree.
And I'm sure Dusty Rhodes can agree with that also.
Now, Dusty Rhodes would like to get a hold of Ron Garvin. Look at this. The teamwork. Kevin Sullivan, who's a manager but is also a wrestler. Outside, a manager, Gary Hart.
You know, David, when Sullivan came into the ring, and you're seeing the athlete in action right here, you could tell he was doing a lot of coaching in that first match. And he's doing a lot of coaching because he knows what it takes to win. Ron Garvin knows what it takes to get a lot of money. And Gary Hart certainly has a lot of it.
Yes, he does. Look at him. All these managers, except Kevin Sullivan controls their mind. Gary Hart, Jim Cornette, J.J. Dillon, they all control by money.
Well, they say a man's mind is controlled by the money he makes, and that may be true. But as you take a look at one of the most awesome moves in our sport, oh my goodness. There is one thing for sure, and when we talk about Ronnie Garvin, he may have won that particular battle. But the war with Dusty Rhodes, a man who's been known to knock out people with a right hand also, he's got a great combination punch, Dusty Rhodes does. The battle, the war is still to come.
Oh, yes, and Dusty Rhodes would like to tie him up in a bull rope.
And we'll be talking with Dusty Rhodes and Dick Murdoch, the reunited Texas Outlaws, in a little bit. But there is no doubt when Ronnie Garvin and Dusty Rhodes get together, fans, it is going to be a fight. F-I-G-H, it's going to be a fight. Slinging it out, there is no doubt about it. Let's go to David with Gary Hart and his men.
All right, Gary Hart, Kevin Sullivan's with you. Al Perez, Ron Garvin.
Well, you know, I'm very selective in the people that I associate with. By the way, Ronnie, a very dear friend of Jimmy Dillon and myself, you know who I'm talking about. He said anytime you knock him out, there's a little something extra. Just go ahead and open it up. But what I am building here with along the helping hand of J.J. Dillon is to stop any hope of the Texas Outlaws ever having a reign of terror that they had before. You see, years gone by, there was never a greater team than Murdoch and Rhodes. They wreaked havoc all over the wrestling business. I'm not just talking in America, I'm talking on a worldwide level. But today is different, Dusty and Dickie Murdoch, the DD boys from Texas. They say the biggest and the baddest come from Texas. Well, you know, everybody in Texas don't always tell the truth because I lived there for a long time. But for money, they'll do anything I ask. So, Outlaws, you in a lot of trouble. A whole lot of trouble. Would you do anything for money?